Good evening, good evening, good evening. A marvelous and magnificent Monday evening to you. Woo! Welcome back, y'all, to PM with Kim. I hope your day was magnificent and marvelous, and your Monday was better than you expected it to be. I am happy to be here with you all this evening. I hope you all are home or making your way home through traffic, and that when you get in, that you sit back and relax and enjoy some downtime, some quiet time. Whew! Thank you for coming back, y'all. For my regulars, thank you for coming back. And for my new people, thank you for joining me on this journey. My PM with Kim is just evening inspiration. It's moments, it's thoughts, it's ahas that come to my mind during the day that I just want to talk about. This one I had already prepared. I had thought about this one and had been wanting to talk about it a while. So this one I already knew what I was going to talk about. But nevertheless, I hope your day was great and that all is well and that you can kick back and relax a little bit this evening. So do something for yourself this evening. If nothing else, just sit back, put your feet up, and listen to some music or watch some TV or do nothing. But whatever it is, do something for yourself to take care of yourself, okay? Yeah, so I ain't gonna hold you long. I don't know why that tickles me. Nevertheless, I'm goofy, so I'm gonna get into this in a minute. But my day was decent. I went back to work. Today was the first day back to work, and the first day is always long because it's policies and procedures and expectations and yada yada yada. It was good. It was long and got to get back into the swing of things. But thank God I have my job. Because some people wanted to go to work today and they couldn't. So I'm grateful. I don't take it lightly. So that's that. So it was decent. I hope your day was good. It was more than decent. It was a good day. It was a good day in my Ice Cube voice. So nevertheless, I'm silly, y'all. I digress, but I ain't gonna hold you long for real, because I'm just gonna chill this evening. I don't have anything on the docket, but nevertheless, I had been pondering this for a while. My perspective has changed a little bit. I created a little a meme, I guess. I created it myself because I was thinking about it. And do we look at men as, some men as deadbeat dads? Or is it that they have bitter mothers? Or is it that their bloodline, there's generational bloodline curse? Or it could be a combination of all of those things. But I hear, men getting the short end of the stick a lot of times. Usually it's the men. It's usually not the women. Sometimes it's the women, because there's some women who have abandoned their kids, ain't done right by them and whatever else. But typically, the men have been portrayed as deadbeat dads to their children. But I venture to say that a lot of times, more times than is mentioned, that women are bitter and they teach their children to be against their fathers because they're not with them. They feel that they have done them some kind of way. They're not getting money or whatever the case may be. But a lot of the times, it's not the dad is deadbeat. It's just the mother is bitter. And she's teaching her children against the father. And what that does is it creates broken adults. And, these women, and sometimes the men, it's a reverse thing too. There are men who have, their children and the mothers are not there, or they have custody and they talk badly about the mother and plant seeds of negativity and draw wedges between the mom and the children, or the dad and the children. And all that does is create broken children who become broken adults, who then have to go back and circle around and get therapy and try to get their lives together because their parent, their custodial parent, has taught them against the parent that is absent or not in the house. And all that's doing is making children bad off, creating traumas, ACEs, adverse childhood experiences, creating trauma that they carry with them throughout their lives, and then they repeat the cycle. So I added in there generational bloodline curses, because a lot of times the way people act and they interact, when the woman is mad because she's not with the man, or the guy's mad because the mother this, that, and the other, and they pit the children against the other parent, a lot of that comes from generational bloodline curses, because it's been repeated cycle over cycle over cycle over cycle it's been passed down from generation to generation. And what I need for us to do is to break the generational curses. Mothers who teach against the fathers, shame on you. Fathers who teach against the mother, shame on you. Shame on you. You don't have to be with the person. You don't have to like the person. But to damage your children by speaking illy or teaching them against the other parent is so foul and so ungodlike and so ridiculous, because it makes for broken adults. Damaged children who grow up to be broken adults. And that is sad. So if this is your story, I really need you to try to write it. I mean, well, if your kids are grown now, there ain't much you can do, but, Jesus can fix it all. But stop it. Because some people grow up thinking, oh, my father wasn't this, my father wasn't that, my mother ain't this, my mother ain't that. And that's not true. Everybody is flawed. Your parents are not great. The person that's absent or outside of the home, the other parent, they might not be perfect, but they might not be what they've been portrayed to be. And so the negative things in turn get into the child's head and into their heart, and they start carrying resentment and bitterness and anger. And all it does is perpetuate distance and strife and anger. And then as an adult, later, then you got to figure out the root of why your relationships are damaged, or why you can't get along with certain people, or why you're, because what happens is when that happens to you as a child, you carry that into your life as an adult, and you repeat those patterns, whether it's a parent-child pattern. It could be just in your relationships that don't work because you carrying all this stuff that you have been passed down from generation to generation. Or you always messed up on your job because you don't know how to interact with people because you're bitter and you're angry and you're defensive and aggressive. Those things manifest in other things in your lives. So please stop it. For all you mothers who are out there who are teaching your children to dislike their fathers, shame on you. Guess what? Their father could be all the things that you might say he is, but you don't need to tell that to them and teach them that. They will get to know. They'll come to their own agreement later on. But it is your responsibility as a parent, mother, who is the custodial parent of the child, father, who is the custodial parent of the child, to teach to them, to instill in them, to respect the other parent, to foster and encourage a relationship with the other parent. Because when you don't, you're raising a broken child who becomes a broken adult who repeats those patterns over and over again. And if our world is going to get better, and if our lives are going to get better, we have got to stop repeating generational bloodline curses. Stop it. It ain't cool. It is not good, and it makes you look bad in the end. It makes you look bad in the end, the one who is planting these seeds of ugliness in your child. It's not cute. And, my mother was a single mother, and my father dropped the ball a whole lot, but she never taught us against him. She was, did you call your dad? You talked to your dad? Don't forget it's your dad's birthday today. But, and he was all kinds of something, especially to her, but she didn't teach that to us. We saw it, we learned his patterns and, his, things that he didn't do. He came short as a father, but guess what? So did his father. And he was repeating some of the cycles that his father repeated. So it's generational bloodline curses. And that if we don't stop it now, it's just going to perpetuate. It's just going to keep recycling and getting passed down from generation to generation. Let's pass down some good legacy. Let's pass down love. Let's pass down respect. Let's pass down peace. Let's pass down humbleness. Let's pass down being good to somebody even when they don't deserve it. Let's pass down honoring your father, your mother and your father, so your days can be long upon the earth. It didn't say honor your mother and father who's great, is perfect and good. Because guess what? If they're not great and they're not perfect, guess what? They got to answer to God. Because he said in his word that if you don't take care of your child, you don't do what you're supposed to do. And parents don't provoke your children. So everybody has an accountability to God. But you don't have to hold that. You don't have to carry that, because God's going to figure it out. He's going to fix it. He's going to vindicate anything that was done wrong. But to teach your children to not like the other parent because you're speaking negative, you're spewing hate, and you're spewing ugliness, is only damaging your child, your children. You're not hurting the father. You're not hurting the mother. Yeah, they hurt in the fact that the children don't have a relationship with them, but you're not killing their spirit. You're having a personal hand in killing your own child's spirit and making for them to have a tumultuous adulthood because you didn't do what you were supposed to do because you were angry at the other person for whatever reason. Get over it. Get over it. Get you some counseling. Get to the root of your problems. Start healing those traumas. Mama and daddy who are teaching this to your kid, start healing your traumas. Start facing your shadows and your demons, and stop worrying about the other parent because they got to do theirs. Everybody do their own work, and we'll see that we can do some things differently. So let's stop repeating these generational bloodline curses, because that's what they are. And if you keep doing the same thing, you're going to just pass it down to your child. They're going to pass it down to their child. They're going to pass it down to their child. And will we ever have whole and good functioning adults that don't have to go back and circle back around and fix themselves because the parents screwed it up because they mad at somebody else? So please stop it. And if you have somebody in your family, your friend, your whatever, your sister, your brother, your whoever else, and they're angry and they're keeping their children away from the other parent, and I ain't gonna let him see him. Oh no, she can't see him, blah, 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 blah. You need to intervene and say, hey, yo, that's wrong. That ain't cool. You need to start speaking up and check your person, your people, and let them know that all they're doing is damaging their children who become damaged adults. Let's stop the cycles. Let's break the curses. We have the power to break the curses, so let's stop it. Let's break the curses, because it is sad to see families ruined because of bitterness and anger and whatever. If that person is not perfect, that's still their parent. They were perfect enough for you to lay down with them and get you one. So let them be the parent. Let them be the dad. Let them be the mom. Without you interfering and without you planting negativity in the hearts and minds of your children. That's not fair to your children. If you're carrying bitterness and you're carrying anger and you're carrying resentment and you're carrying all of these things for the other parent because of whatever reason, you need to really address your issues, heal, so that they can in turn heal, your children can heal. And even, let's say the other parent is a drug addict, or they're harmful. You protect your children, but you still don't have to speak negative about that person to plant seeds of anger in your children. You can explain, you know what, your dad is struggling. They have an illness, because addiction is an illness, and let's pray for him or her. And and you keep the lines of communication open, because they're not gonna always, hopefully, some people succumb to their addictions and their illnesses and so forth, but some people get it together eventually. And then when they do get it together, they have a hard time trying to connect because you've already planted the ugliness. Speak life. Speak life, even if you don't like the person, even if they flawed, even if they don't deserve it. You speak life, because you don't want to take away somebody's second chance, because in that first chance with you, it didn't go right and you mad, and so you're screwing up everything else for the future for your children and them to connect. Get your life right. Get your life right. And if you know somebody that's doing that and you have some kind of influence over them and you say nothing, or you don't try to correct them in love, then shame on you too. Shame on all of you. Because the world doesn't get any better. Families are not going to heal, not going to thrive, until we address the generational bloodline curses and stop repeating the negative cycles. And so, if that's you, please, I implore you, get you some counseling, into you a church, and get in a relationship with God, so that you can start working through some of your stuff, so that you can be better, and and also bring in your children, your child along with you, so that you all can heal, and hopefully restore some relationships, and break the bloodline curses, so that your family can be better and can build. It's not too late. It's not too late. But you got to want to be better. You got to want better for your child or your children, because your bitterness is not going to make them better. It's just going to make them have to do extra work later on down the road. So please, it ain't cool. It's not cool. You don't have to be with the person at all in any kind of relationship. It didn't work out. It didn't work out. And most of the time it didn't work out because you shouldn't have been with them in the first place. But you did it on your own, and that's what you got. So now you got to live with what you chose. But you make the best of what you've chosen, and try to do the best by your child or your children. And even if you don't like the person, even if they don't deserve it, even if you're not together, speak life, speak health over your children. Show them what love looks like. And maybe you can't show them because you don't know what it looks like, but you can find out, you can learn, you can change. But to keep doing those things to your children when you think you're stabbing at that other parent, you're not. The biggest brunt of it is on your child or your children. So if you want your children to be better, then you as a parent, as the custodial parent, need to be better. And you need to hold the level of parent. Both should be held in the same regard, even if you don't like them, even if they're not the greatest. And then you let your children, as they grow and they mature and they develop and they get in their relationships with their mother or their father, whoever's not in the house, they will see for themselves what they need to see. But if you've planted in them love and respect, and in spite of it all, even if your mama ain't this, or even if your daddy ain't this, if you've planted the good stuff in them, they'll see what mama and daddy are not. But if you've planted the good stuff in them, they'll still do their work as the child to be respectful and try to have a relationship. But if that's your way that you're doing, and that's the way of somebody that is doing that, and you don't check them in love, shame on all of you. Because your families don't thrive and heal and get better until you address the root of the problem and really get to the heart of it, and unpack it, and say, no, we're not going to keep doing this. You can say no, you can stop it. So that's my evening inspiration, y'all. I just felt compelled. This has been something in my spirit for a long, long time. And since I have my platform, I can say what I want to say. And it's valid. And everybody can attest to it, and everybody knows somebody that's in that situation. And it could be you. It could be you. It could be you doing it, or it could be you on the receiving end as the other parent outside of the home who's catching the flack because your kids don't want to be bothered with you, or they don't want to talk to you, or they can hating on you because of what has been planted in their spirit by their other parent. So pray for people. That's one of my prayers. Intercessory for the people around the world, that families will break generational bloodline curses, and that parental child relationships will be restored. So if you're in the mix of it, do better. And for those people who are not together and you still making sure your children love on their mama and their daddy, good for you. Good for you. Because we want to raise our children to be as whole as they can, so that when they get to be adults, that they're not circling back trying to fix stuff. So that's it. That's all, y'all. I hope it blessed your soul. I hope it convicted you. If it speaks to your situation, I hope it convicted you, and I hope you'll do something about it. And if it's not your situation and you know somebody, I hope it convicts you to step in and say, hey, let's work this out. Be the mediator if you have to. But let's start changing the dynamics of the way families look, so that they look better, and they thrive. Because I look at other nationalities, and granted they got their own stuff and they might have all the stuff, but it seems like it's just us a lot of the times, or ours is just louder. I don't know, and it could just be me, but I'm just saying, for any nationality, any black, white, Latino, Asian, Hispanic, whatever, I don't care what your nationality is. If you are a parent who's teaching your child against the other parent, don't do that. All right? So have a blessed rest of your evening. I pray that when you lay down tonight, that your sleep will be restful and peaceful and sweet, and that your dreams will be divine, and that the hand of God will rest upon you all night long, and that the angels will encamp all around your home, keeping everyone in it and you safe from hurt, harm, or danger, and that when you awaken tomorrow, that you will awaken refreshed and renewed and revived and ready to break some generational curses. I pray that the love of God covers you from the crown of your head to the soles of your feet, and that tomorrow you'll be better than you were today, and that you're going to love on people and be your best self. Do your best to be your best, and take it one day at a time, one foot in front of the other. All right, y'all, that's it. That's all. Don't forget me in the AM. I'm going to try to get myself up tomorrow so I don't have to do it in the car. I'm coming back to my spot because I like this little spot right here. I feel like I'm connecting with you all right here. So rest well, be encouraged, be blessed, and spread love, y'all. All right? Have a great evening, and that's it. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May he make his face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May he lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. Peace that surpasses all understanding. Peace that guards your heart, your mind, your soul, your spirit in Christ Jesus. Oh, may he just bless you abundantly. That is my prayer. So until we meet in the AM, peace and blessings from my heart to yours. I love you. I love you. I love you. Go and be great. Rest well. And check me out in the AM. Good night.